ZucoWoW. ZucoWoW? ZucoWoW. I don't know. But the number one reason WoW players won't play Guild Wars 2. Let's check it out.
What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Guild Wars video. Hope you're all doing very well. I'm going to talk about Guild Wars 2 and World of Warcraft again in this video, and we're going to do a comparison. Again, I have a big question that I want to ask, and I want you guys to put in the comments down below. Is if you were playing World of Warcraft and you're kind of tired of it, like me, wink wink, then would you consider going over to Guild?
Yeah, I bet you he has been mainly playing WoW for the past 22 years. Occasionally playing something else, but I bet you a daily WoW player for almost 2 decades, probably. Guessing here. There's no way you can't be burnt out. There's no way.
Guild Wars 2, and I think that there's one enormous reason why players from WoW would not want to go over to Guild Wars 2. And I'm going to give you the reason now, and then we're going to talk about some of the different systems in the two games and why I think you might not want to come over from World of Warcraft, and why we maybe haven't already seen a mass exodus of players coming over from World of Warcraft. Because you would think at a time right now when I think a lot of people are very upset about the way WoW is running, I think, you know, it would make sense that they want to try other games, but there isn't necessarily a lot of people doing that from my understanding. So the number one reason why I think you're going to want, why World of Warcraft players would not want to come over to Guild Wars 2 is because of the progression system. It's because Guild Wars 2 is horizontal and World of Warcraft is a vertical staircase. And I'm going to explore those in a second. Let's talk about the systems that are in those games.
So for the vertical progression, I feel like that's so common with many games. It feels way more natural, but it also had me like because now WoW does seasonal events, right? I got to the mentality that once I was like in the mid or like later part of the season, I was like, why am I still trying to get like the best stuff right now? I'm like, who cares? And like 2 months, it's about to reset. Once it resets, that drops is going to be better than what I'm grinding for now. And then after like the next season of that happening again, I was like, what am I doing here? I'm not even having fun. And maybe that's on me. I'll take that L. Maybe that's on me. Maybe I didn't have a good group. Maybe I won't play in the game correctly. But that was the curse of the vertical progression versus this horizontal progression that this game has, which I also have no pressure. I'm running around, just kind of doing my own thing, playing the story. And then I have Vampire and other people hopping in, and we're just doing the metas, doing the world events. There's so much live events going on that it's just like we're all doing it together. It doesn't matter that I have the best gear. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's going to be a point where I'm going to be trying to do stuff to craft the legendaries and craft the good stuff or get the good drops, but it's not a hard perpetual grind to where I'm not going to be able to participate in the content. That's where WoW gets you. You're not going to be able to participate in the new mythic raid or the higher tier mythic dungeons unless you get the good shit.
Okay, we're going to start with Mythic Plus. The Mythic Plus system in World of Warcraft is good. It's been around for a long time. You have endgame dungeons that you're farming gear. You know, it's very good. I would argue right now it's in one of the worst places it's ever been. They have not fleshed out the system.
Damn. I thought it was bad. I thought it was bad a couple years ago. And jeez, look at this screen, bro. That's another reason, in my opinion. Like, so all your attention, like, I guess your attention is bouncing everywhere depending on your role. But it's just, ugh, I don't like it. It is just too much. It's too much going on, dude.
In the last 5 years, they have not expanded on it. I feel like you could include way more dungeons now into the dungeon pool. You could have like a rotating Mythic Plus challenge mode kind of thing. If you want to, like, you imagine if the pool of dungeons in WoW was like 40 or 50, but every week there was 8 of them that were like the dungeons that would get you your Radar.io score and all that kind of stuff. And then every dungeon could have its own renown track with like a bunch of like a loot, like one piece of loot that you could hunt down and get really cool transmog for that loot, like Legion artifact style skins.
That is a good point. Like, they have the content, right? They have the 20 plus years of content. Use it. Would that just be like they would have to totally revamp so much? That'd be crazy to do on like a technical turn. Like, technically, would that be actually pretty hard to do because it is so much? But yeah, they have the material. They have the tools at their disposal. That would be actually pretty awesome.
There's all kinds of stuff that I think Blizzard should be doing with the Mythic Plus system that they're not, but it has been a good system for like 10 years, and I'm not going to take that away from them. The same system exists in Guild Wars 2, which is the fractal system, of course. Now, I would say the introduction to the fractal system is horrible in this game. I have been trying to get my personal fractal level up. I don't understand necessarily what contributes to me getting more fractal level or less. Anytime you do fractals, people just want to do the daily fractals, these things, which is fair to those players. I'm not mad at the community. I'm just saying, like,
knock out the dailies.
It's really hard to understand as a new player just pugging this game what I'm supposed to do to progress quickly through the fractal system. It's not obvious.
I'm with them on that. I do feel that I just did like quick group find because tier 1 I didn't have any of the good gear, so I can't do the higher tiers. The higher level gear you can upgrade because the higher level tiers have this thing called agony to just that's what makes them a higher level tier, is the agony will do more damage. And unless you infuse your gear with agony, like anti-agony shit, you won't be able to do it. So all I did was a couple of tier 1s with like the little pub group finder, and I don't really understand how the fractals work, so I can't really comment on it because I don't freaking know either.
That's not good for the game, I'm telling you right now. So players who would want to come over from World of Warcraft and experience like the dungeon system here, they can do that, but getting to like the tier 4 master level takes some time and it's difficult. It's not as quickly as you could move through it in World of Warcraft. So that's a big difference. But also the perception of Guild Wars 2 is that it's not a PvE game. I'm coming from World of Warcraft. I'm telling you, as a player, hearing about Guild Wars 2, all I really heard about was like the PvE part of it, the world versus world stuff. So the fact that there's even a fractal system with like affixes, these mistlock instabilities, these are really cool. And I would love to go and try them, but I think that players coming from WoW don't know that this system really even exists.
I don't think that the fractals are that popular like that. Like you said, I think people just do them to do their dailies or weeklies. But like dungeons in WoW are what you do. Like you just ad nauseum do the higher tier. Like they speed run the content. They just do mythic level dungeons at ad nauseum, so that way they can get the drops eventually, get the perfect gear and setup, do the raids, and then do what you can only do a raid like once a week or something like that, and then they just do the raids at the end of the week, and that's really what they do. But here, I feel like Guild Wars is more focused on the timed events. And unless you're aiming for like a certain achievement or you're aiming for a certain like specific gear drop, that's when you like can get a team together and then y'all knock out the set, strike, fractal, raid, or what have you.
If you were to ask them, they would say it doesn't have a Mythic Plus system. Like, I bet you that's what people would say, and unless they were told otherwise. So does it have a system? Yes, it does. Is it similar to World of Warcraft's Mythic Plus system? Yes, it has similarities there. Do people know about it? Not necessarily, and that's a problem, I would say. But it does exist for players who would want to come over. Now,
just not popular.
What else is there? The raid system, raiding in World of Warcraft. probably the best feature in the entire game, and they've had really, really good raids for a long time now, and I don't want to ever take this away from WoW. I think like their raids have been quite good, and you've got LFR difficulty, you have normal, heroic, mythic, so you have something for everybody. There is something that you can do at your speed, you know. Now there's a lot of individual jobs to do in like mythic world of raiding content, like, you know, one person has to soak this or use their immunity over here. There's a lot of really important things you have to do, and it's a good system.
Going, baby.
But it does kind of rely on individuals to do their jobs. The raiding in Guild Wars 2, I think, is one of its best features as well, and I think that you can't take that away from this game.
I will say I am so excited. I want to do a raid. I'm really excited to do a raid. I don't even have my Reaper, like all my little things unlocked yet, but I'd like to fully unlock my class. I'd like to get a little better gear, a little better sigils and stuff like that, and then I want to do some raids. So pumped. I loved raiding in WoW, but the bad thing is, looking back, because it happened to me on this game, I know what happened. So I'm like dodging, I'm doing the mechanics, right? And I think I won't like I thought I had it to where like I was automatically targeting like the boss or whoever, right? And I'm doing the attacks, but I'm not. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I thought my computer was messing up or something, right? I won't targeting anything. So my damage was just like, because there, you saw the screen, right? Where we at right here? So you see the damage meters, you see the healing meters, like they got stats on everything, and like once we like defeated this one boss, I don't even think we were done with the raid. The raid leader in Discord took me off in a private thing, and he was like, "Hey, were you AFK?" And like talking, like asking me questions, and then he said I had to sit out, and I was like, basically I got booted from the party, and then that also killed me. Like I was like, damn, maybe I stink at this game. Which I'm not good at it. Like, don't get me wrong. I know I'm not good. I didn't play it all the time. Honestly, didn't take it that serious. But it happened to me in this game, but I realized, I was like, wait, I'm not targeting anything. Why is so stupid, man? You gotta pay attention. But there's so many fucking colors going on, and you're like kind of running around and dodging the fires and dodging the circles and then trying to do your little buttons. I didn't even realize that it was all in vain.
One of the best features of the game for sure. So again, more similarities between these games than players might otherwise realize. When we talk about PvP, I think it's fair to say that Guild Wars 2 has a bit of an edge there with the world versus world system, with the reward tracks where you can like pick whatever rewards you want to get from like whatever areas you're looking to hunt down. So if you're trying to get like some transmogs and stuff from Living World Season 3 or whatever, you can.
That's something I'm really interested in too. The world versus world. That shit looks pretty cool. It looks like a lot. Like someone told me to jump in, and I jumped in, but then I was like, wait, what the hell am I doing? What is any of this? I feel like I either have to have my hand held for like the first little bit, or I need to sit and I need to have like a tutorial going and just kind of like, all right, and take my time with it. Because it's a lot of stuff, man.
Go get that, which is actually a really cool way to incentivize people to do PvP, which is great. There's the ranks and the abilities that you can unlock here, which is really cool. You get permanent upgrades whenever you're doing PvP. Like that's super, super cool. This is really cool. But both games do have large scale PvP and small scale PvP. So from a player perspective, coming from WoW, I think it would be even better. The PvP would be even better in Guild Wars 2. It does have that down pat. It's probably one of its better features, right? So again, the games are very similar. If we're talking about story, this is the last thing I'm going to compare. I think the stories in both games are actually phenomenal. I think playing through the stories in World of Warcraft are some of the best storytelling I've ever heard in my life. even between other medias like movies and television shows. Like the stories, especially the ones from Shadowlands, BFA and Shadowlands. If you've never watched those cinematics, please go watch them. They're amazing. Really important characters like Jaina, Thrall.
All right. Hey, I'm not a WoW guy, but I got introduced to WoW in Shadowlands, and people were pissed about that storyline. Was I wrong? Maybe it was the people I was with. I thought people were really pissed about the whole jailer and like, so what's up with this chick, Sylvana? Granted, WoW does have an amazing story, or it did.
Anduin, Bane, Sylvanas, Tyrande, Sourfang. So
Let me know what y'all think about the Shadowlands story. Was that good, or did they mess the storyline up? Because I thought that's why they brought Chris Medford. They brought him back to like revamp the whole storyline. Tell me what y'all think.
So many characters that I loved. I fell in love with them. I got to watch their stories, and they were incredible. They were so incredible. Gave me all the feels. That was really good. Some of the storytelling being done in World of Warcraft right now with like the Sunwell and Xalatath being the main villain, who I just do not care about at all. That frustrates me a lot because I'm not connected to the story at all. But needless to say, there has been a lot of story in World of Warcraft that's been really, really good. In Guild Wars 2, there's also some really good stories. I finished the original campaign. I don't think it was Living World. It was just the original story. The villain in the original story was great. That was really fun. And then I got into Heart of Thorns, and I did all the story here, and I loved those characters. Loved seeing characters come back as we got to know them.
Bro, when Brahm's mom got killed, when that chick betrayed her, and then they got killed by the monster, I was like, oh, dude, Brahm's about to go on a villain arc, bro. Brahm is he's about to rage out.
In the original story, and they got to persist. I think that's really important in storytelling for games. Path of Fire has been really cool. I've been really enjoying that story as well.
I'm excited for that one.
Have loved traversing the world.
That's where we get flying mounts, I believe.
Doing all the story, and then Path of Fire as well.
I didn't skip. Part of me wanted to skip to a later one and just get like the flying mount and then go back, but I was like, nah, son. We're going to grind it out. We're going to thug it out like how they did when the game was getting released. We're going to run. We're going to have to glide. We're going to have to feel the pain because I really wanted to kind of get a feel of what the game is supposed to be. Than just getting them out and just, XY axis simulator. I wanted to really explore the world, which I am loving. Heart of Thorns, the verticality of it, the tunnels, I love it. It makes you really have to kind of figure out where you're going, how to get to the next spot. I'm enjoying it a lot.
The characters like Timey and Ritlock, like these characters that are carrying through multiple expansions, is really fun in my opinion. I love that. I love seeing that. Even in End of Dragons, I've been doing some of that, and they've been around for some of that stuff too, which has been really, really good. And in the latest expansion I've been doing, some of those characters are there again. So
was he just doing a little bit of every expansion?
An epic build up with characters that you have in there, and it's really great to see that in this game because it helps you stay attached to them and build rapport. So again, all these systems that are in both these games are there, and I think that they're all actually very similar. I think they have more similarities than differences. The dungeon systems are there, the raids are there, the PvP is there, the stories are there, they're all very similar. The biggest difference, as I said at the beginning of the video, is the way that you progress through those systems. And Guild Wars 2 has been really serious about their horizontal progression. In World of Warcraft, it is a vertical staircase. Every season, all the gear that you had from the previous season is
trash,
useless now, and you're getting new gear. So you were on a little plateau, but 6 months has gone by, and now, boom, you have to go back up again. And there's 70 item levels.
And I swear, not just new gear. Like, you can get drops from elites in the world that are better than, like, your dungeon drops previously. Like, that's what hurt. That's what hurt.
Again, there's new trinkets to go find, and you go do that, and then you do it for a while, and then the season kind of plateaus, and then nothing happens for a bit, and then new season comes out and you do it again. In Guild Wars 2, you have this steady climb until you get to like ascended gear, legendary gear, and then you plateau forever. You're done with your gear. Now, what are the advantages and disadvantages here? Well, from a World of Warcraft point of view, you get a dopamine hit every like 6 months. A new season comes out and you have to chase down all these items again, and you get a dopamine hit because your number is going up, your eye level's going up, your damage and healing are going up. So you
call that a hamster wheel.
You have that dopamine hit that's there. I think it's undeniable that that's there. Whether it's healthy or not is that's the discussion we're kind of having. But in Guild Wars 2, you of course don't have the same kind of feeling every expansion or every season, because what you're progressing in those seasons is horizontal stuff, permanent achievements, new skins for your glider, new ways to fly your sky scale. Like, that's what you're progressing. You're not progressing gear in any way. The only thing that's been added, I think, more recently has been the relics, and that the relics used to be, the effects that the relics have used to be in the game beforehand anyway, so you're not really gaining anything new. It's just that it's actually a permanent slot now. So it's a matter of like philosophy in terms of the way the games are made. And I think personally, I am getting really tired of chasing the carrots in World of Warcraft. I'm really tired of it. It's exhaustion now. It's gone from like 10 years of dopamine hits on the staircase and loving it. I did love it, to be honest, but it's gone from that so many times in a row that I'm like exhausted. And
I can kind of see like for veteran players, all right? For veteran players, at least they were probably getting that top tier. They were probably having the top tier gear, hitting the high key dungeons, you know, doing all the things they needed to do. And then they probably still had time before the next season came out. So they were probably hitting up, I don't know, doing PvP or doing other shit or whatever, right? As someone that was new and I didn't really play it probably like that much, I felt like I was always behind. And then I'm like, right when I start to feel like I was catching up, that's when the new season would be coming out, or you know what I mean? I'm like, oh shit, gotta start over. So I got exhaustion quick. I got exhaustion like, I think the third season, someone was begging me to come in, like, come on, dude, boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, fine, I'll play. But it was like 2 seasons, and I'm like, hey, what the fuck am I doing here? The cool thing about Guild Wars 2 that I do like is the masteries. So that the masteries, and then also like that is a horizontal progression, right? So I'm maxed out level 80, but I'm unlocking masteries, which affect how you play the game. So unless I unlocked the mushroom jumping or the speed mushroom, I can't use mushrooms to jump and do cliffs. Unless I unlock different masteries for mounts, I can't use them. Unless you know what I mean? So like now the game becomes more open by me just playing it, getting experience, and then unlocking the masteries. So in a sense, I'm leveling up and able to do, like, you get to see and experience more with your level up. Does that make sense? Than just doing bigger damage numbers. And then for the gear is just you can just how it affects your builds. That's really it. You're just grinding out like, all right, I built a DPS power build. All right, maybe now I want to do a conditional damage build. So now I'll go out and I'll grind the different kind of gear and weapons to get this different kind of stats I need that would be more suitable for this build. Instead of just now this new season or new expansion came out and I'm trash. Does that make sense?
Sounds exhausting when you're like, every season I have to get all my gear up to mythic again, and it's like, oh my gosh, I gotta farm my 8 dungeons every week to fill up the vault. I gotta farm my raid to fill up the vault there. And then now I have this outdoor track with like delves. I got to farm all that early in the season to get my best possible chance of getting the best loot. And it's like, holy cow, man, I'm just so tired of it now. And so for me personally, I'm much more attracted to the system that is in Guild Wars 2, which is this horizontal system where a new thing comes out, a new expansion comes out, like Secrets of the Obscure, for example. And now I'm on the mastery system and I'm leveling up these permanent masteries. I can always go back and do the ones from old expansions too. And I can get really cool skins and unlock interesting rewards that are permanent, that have nothing to do with player power. And to me, World of Warcraft has been missing this for a long time.
Yeah.
This is the #1 reason why World of Warcraft players will not come over to Guild Wars 2, in my opinion, is because they're going to miss out on the vertical dopamine hit that we've been given, the carrot that we've been chasing for 10, 15 years, you know, however long you've been playing the game.
You know what he sounds like to me? It sounds like they're missing that high. They're missing that fucking... Man, I missed the rush. Like, I missed that hit. It's like, ew. Chill out, do something different, bro.
They're going to miss that in Guild Wars 2 because it doesn't exist in the same way. There are small dopamine hits in Guild Wars 2, I would say. Like when you're upgrading your mastery stuff, you definitely get a sense of accomplishment, a sense of progression. It's there, but it's not when it comes to gear. Specifically for your gear, you're not upgrading it every single season, making it better. So the carrot isn't quite there in the same way. So I would love to hear what you guys think about this. If you're a WoW player, would you ever consider going over to Guild Wars 2? Because the content is there. The fractals are there, the raids are there, the PvP is there, the story is definitely there, the outdoor world is abundant with stuff to do. There is stuff to do here. But what you...
That just reminded me, that was another comment that was, I guess they deleted or whatever on my short. Someone said, no one from Blizzard is playing this shit game, much less stealing from it. I'm telling you, I think above game mechanics and playstyle, I believe hardcore, like, WoW Andes have elitism. So anything else is subpar gameplay. Guild Wars is a fucking a knockoff, generic, great value brand game to them. They're not going to waste their time with it.
Would have to change, which I think is the hardest thing you would ever have to do as a WoW gamer, is to change your mentality to say, I am no longer interested in seasonal dopamine hits.
Hey, this is turning into a therapy session for them. This man has given these guys therapy. He's good, guys. He's clean now. He's switched over. He's trying new things. He's having fun with Guild Wars. He's telling y'all what to do. Get off the pipe. Get off the WoW pipe.
In the same way that I got from WoW over the past 10 years. I'm going to get rid of that mentality, and I'm going to embrace a more horizontal, permanent achievement mentality. Can you do that as a WoW player? How hard is that to do? I would argue it's very hard. Maybe the hardest thing that any WoW player could do, because they could look at another game like Guild Wars 2 and say, hey, there's dungeons, there's raids, let's go do it, let's go have fun. But then they start doing it and they get their gear up to the ascended level, and then they're like, oh, there's nothing to do. I'm bored. I'm leaving. Like, that's, I think, exactly what will happen. And I think that's why there's not very many WoW players coming over to play Guild Wars 2, even though right now I think WoW is in one of the worst states that it's ever been, personally. So let me know what you think.
Until when Classic Plus comes out. God, that's all my YouTube's filled with. Maybe I created that algorithm on my own.
Think in the comments down below, please. I would love to hear what you guys think. Is this a struggle that only I'm having? Are you sick of WoW lately? Are you sick of, like, what's been going on in the game?
I don't even play it.
With more leaning towards casual players, and they haven't expanded the Mythic Plus system in like 5 years, and Give me your take if you're a WoW player, especially, and you're thinking about maybe coming over to Guild Wars 2, because I'm telling you, I have been having so much fun with this game. I've been loving it, every minute of it. And I would encourage you guys to come over and try it out, even though you're not going to have that dopamine like and a subscribe, every 6 months that you're used to. I think it's still worth a shot. Okay. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I love y'all. I'll see you in the next one.
Give them a like and a subscribe. Let's see what these comments are. See what these comments are. Say, the thing you missed is you get new builds in Guild Wars 2. You might have max gear, but with Heart of Thorns, you get new specializations. Alright, we got a Guild Wars guy. Anybody argue? While new gear's not added, new affixes mean to play new build trinkets. New WoW players won't have legendary gear for a while. Don't know about that one, guys. It's a new playstyle, but new specializations are not made to be more powerful than the previous one. Just allow the class to be played in a different style. Very true. Now, I'm sure that they do like power balances and stuff like that. It's every single game ever. There's always the optimal best ones, you know? And then they got to rebalance it, and that's just a circle of life when it comes to it. For WoW to show you the carrot, you chase it every time each season. If you don't chase it, it gets further away from you. That is literally what I was saying about I just perpetually felt behind. I just constantly felt behind, and then I was like, I'm never going to get on top. What am I doing? I'm wasting my time. Like, my time did not feel like it was being well spent. I was not being rewarded for giving the game my time. It wanted way more time. Fractum system started before Mythic Dungeons and WoW. Oh gosh, here we go. I was about to say, is that true? 37 replies. WoW has been copying. Let's go. We can add this. This will be a multi-part series. WoW has been copying Guild Wars 2 for more than a decade. However, to their credit, they had to. And that's how they kept the game relevant. They need to go back to copying. It's what they've always been good at. Blizzard's strength was seeing a system, iterating on it, and making it better. This is not bad. Everything is derivative, so it's hard to true. Alright. Arena Net Strength has always been looking at a problem saying, people don't like this. How do we do a 180 and start fresh? Man. While his points are totally valid, it's wild that WoW players don't realize that the system they love is a clone of a system from Guild Wars 2 that Blizzard iterated on. Oh my gosh. Which is also true with dragon riding. Oh, Guild Wars 2 mounts are very much unique, are very among the MMOs that are having physics, turning speed. Oh man. WoW copied everything of its system from someone, to be honest. Alright. Yeah, Blizzard is more like perfectionists or opportunists instead of innovators. Fractal. Oh, here we go. We got a sassy pants here. Fractals were fractals were copied too, honey. Lamau. Do you think infinitely scaling instance dungeons were a brand new original system created in Guild Wars 2? Lol. So we never said they aren't. Oh man. Route is incredibly boring as a new player. Never felt that on Guild Wars 2. True. I have not been bored yet. I've also been spacing myself. Yo, what's up?